See what Teal has planned for Veterans Day, and also catch an exclusive interview with the Teal head football coach about the outcome of Teal's first night game ever. This all starts right now.
You're watching TCTV News, your only source for news and entertainment on campus.
Hello, welcome to TCTV. I'm Tyler Buffington.
And I'm Jason Crystal.
Teal hosted an internship fair this week. Now let's take a look at the event and how it went.
Hi guys, my name's Bree and I'm here with Martin Black, the Associate Dean of Career Services at Teal College, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about the internship fair that's taking place on Thursday in the LHR from 11:30 to 3. Tell us a little bit about the preparation that went into this internship fair.
Okay, well, it all started with our looking at a survey that showed that employers are most interested in students with practical experience. We wanted to get people prepared for summer, so we thought we would do a fall internship fair almost as a run-through, and then we'll have another fair in April to prepare for the summer.
Awesome, that sounds really beneficial for students. What kind of employers are going to be at this fair tomorrow?
We have a smattering of everything. We have a couple that sell insurance, like State Farm is going to be there. We have our very own Pettis Communication Center.
We're gonna go ahead and look and see what's going on in the LHR. Guys, we made it to the internship fair in the LHR and we're here with Matt Fiore, who's going to tell us a little bit about his role in the internship fair and what he does.
So basically what I do here is I'm here working the fair for a little bit, and also I have two internships. I got one with Westpac, which is actually a job fair like company, and then run job fairs in Redville. And I also have an internship with a company in there, Northwestern Mutual, which is a financial services company. I think every Teal student should be down here. This is a good opportunity. Everyone should check it out, see if they can get an internship and maybe advance in their major, look forward to a new career.
That's great advice. All right, thank you. All right, guys, we're headed out of the internship fair. It seems like it was a successful event. Back to you guys at the desk.
A Connecticut rabbi returned $98,000 in cash he found in a plastic bag hidden behind drawers of an ordinary office desk he bought on Craigslist. Rabbi Noah Muroff discovered the money while dismantling a desk to move it through the house. Then came the unexpected surprise. Muroff picked up the desk from a woman named Patty, who he called, in which she was speechless, without words, he said. Muroff said the former owner told him she put her inheritance in the desk and forgot it was there after a while. I do not think there are too many people in this world that would have done what you did by calling me, Patty wrote in a thank you note to Muroff. Noah Muroff returned the money, hoping his good deed will send the message of honesty and integrity. Wow, that takes a lot to return that much amount of money, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that was really great that he returned so much money. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't do that. A lot of people don't have that type of integrity anymore.
Definitely
you know?
not. What a great guy.
Yeah, definitely. Glass Onion Catering has recalled more than 180,000 pounds of ready-to-eat salads and sandwich wrap products with fully cooked chicken and ham that may be contaminated with E. coli. The Richmond, California company products, which were shipped to distribution centers in Arizona, California, Nevada, New Mexico, Oregon, Texas, Utah, and Washington, may be contaminated with E. coli. E. coli is a potentially deadly bacterium that can cause dehydration, bloody diarrhea, and abdominal cramps 2 to 8 days after exposure to the organism. At least 26 people have been sickened in 3 states by E. coli in recent weeks. Of those, 15 ate products included in the recall, which you find on USDA.org.
65-year-old Anne Murray lost all of one arm and part of the other after she was savagely attacked by her family's pit bull on Monday, police said. The dog was wandering in the road when it attracted the attention of a woman who was driving through the residential neighborhood of Upper St. Clair. Initially worried about the dog's safety, the woman got out of her car and tried to corral it, but the dog acted aggressively towards her, and she returned back to her car. Another motorist then came by, and together they were able to get the dogs into Murray's driveway. Then they heard Murray hiding under a vehicle in the driveway, injured and calling for help. Murray had bite injuries up and down her body, from her legs to the side of her head. She lost one arm completely and the other below the elbow. Wow, that's really unfortunate for her, isn't
that's
it?
a real shame. There's been a lot of animal attacks in the recent years, and it's just been a shame about all the different things that have been happening to people.
It is a shame. That's supposed to be man's best friend, huh?
Yeah, definitely not in that case.
No, sir.
A tree planted at West Hartford Elementary School in memory of a 10-year-old little boy who died in an accident was cut down and dragged to a basketball court. A park bench was also vandalized, and now police are trying to track down whoever is responsible. At the base of the tree stump is a plaque remembering Connor Sorensen, who died 2.5 years ago in a tubing accident. At the base of the stump, besides the plaque, kids have placed a wiffle ball and flowers. The school superintendent says she is speechless. They are working with police, hoping that if the person is caught, they will face the full weight of the law.
Now let's take a look to see how Teal honored our veterans on campus this week for Veterans Day with Jennifer.
Hi, this is Jennifer Kaler with TCTV News, and today is Veterans Day. We're here with Jen Przinski from the Admissions Office and Lita Jeffers from the Advancement Office to talk to them about how Teal celebrates Veterans Day on campus. Jen, I know that we have a good number of students that have been in the military or currently in the military. Can you tell us a little bit about that and the numbers?
Yeah, we currently have about 22 students who are either currently serving or are veterans themselves, and we also have several students who are have a lot of veteran family members, so they're receiving benefits from the military and the VA. And so this past summer, we created a network of advocates for our students here on campus. So Lita and I have kind of taken the lead with this project, and for Veterans Day, we put together some different events just to recognize and honor those who have served in our campus community. So Lita, do you want to talk about some of the things that we've done?
Sure. Today in the Veteran and Military Student Lounge, we actually had it decorated with some refreshments for them. We also had the library broadcasting a showcase of military history. AVI provided a free lunch in the Galleria for any veteran or active duty military member. We also had a Thank a Veteran extravaganza with Teal Activities Board, where they were able to sign a banner that is being hung right now in the HMSC and will later go to St. Paul's to thank the veterans there in our local community. We also had Career Services do a showcase on veterans' careers post-graduation, and we also had our health services do a showcase on PTSD awareness. This evening, we will be doing a movie shown in Bly Hall Auditorium, and we'll also be taking a van full of veteran and military students to Applebee's for their free veteran dinner. And we also had a 2 p.m. reception with Troy Van Aken, our president, to thank the veteran and military students for their service on campus.
Well, as a veteran myself, I thank you ladies for all of that you have done. And I think it really shows us veterans that we are appreciated, not only in the community, but especially here on Teal campus. And I thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to speak to Will Ross, who is an Army veteran and sophomore here at Teal College. Thank you for talking with us today, Will. Please let me know what it meant to you to serve and what was the motivation for you to serve in the Army.
It meant a lot to me to serve, and the motivation was for everyone to have their freedom to go to school, to be able to do what they want to do with their life, and that was my main goal, to join them in service.
And now you get to utilize as well, your GI Bill, I'm assuming, to get your college education. And what's your major?
I am majoring in computer science.
And do you have a goal in end?
I don't really have an end goal, but I just want to keep on progressing and get really good at what I do.
Okay, well, thank you for serving. We appreciate it. Again, this is Jennifer Kaler with TCTV News. Happy Veterans Day to all of those who have served from one veteran to another. Back to you at the desk.
A 16-year-old female driver from Augusta struck 3 cattle that were loose on Highway 27 and then struck a house Wednesday night. According to the Eau Claire County Sheriff's Office, authorities say the driver was going south on Highway 27 when it struck cattle and then left the roadway and struck a house near the 9500 block of Highway 27. No one in the house was injured, yet the vehicle and the house were severely damaged. The 3 cattle also sustained severe injuries and had to be euthanized. The driver was transported by Mayo helicopter for further evaluation and treatment of her injuries. The degree of her injuries is not known at this time. This man in Brazil was pulled from a grave alive after a woman saw his hand surging through the ground. The woman said she was visiting a late family member's grave when she heard a noise. She then saw the ground moving before a hand came up through the ground, followed by a head. She then turned to cemetery officials for help in convincing the police what she had just witnessed was actually real. Police believe the man is a former City Hall worker and ended up in the grave after getting into a fight in another location. It's possible his attackers took him to the cemetery while he was passed out after a brutal beating and buried him alive. What is the world coming to these days when you bury an alive person in the cemetery?
People being buried alive, people getting attacked by dogs. What next?
Society's going down, I'll tell you that.
I don't know what to tell you, Jay. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Pittsburgh Mifflin school officials said they found a student in possession of an unloaded pellet gun on Tuesday. The pellet gun was discovered in a garbage can in the boys' bathroom. Pittsburgh Mifflin parents received a letter from the school explaining the incident. At Pittsburgh Mifflin, we are committed to sharing these types of incidents with you, as the safety of our students and staff is always a top priority. I want to assure you that at no time were students or staff in any danger, and there were no injuries, the school said. Now let's go to Colin for a special interview with Executive Director of the Pettis Center, Bob Batchelor.
It's been 40 years since Tomcats have seen construction on their campus. With the addition of the James Pettis Communications Center, Teal students will now be able to enjoy brand new classrooms, state-of-the-art television studios, and other amenities they may not be used to. But among all the caution tape and construction signs, people are getting awfully curious. Just how well is it all coming along? We sit down with Dr. Batchelor, the Executive Director of the construction, to find out the details for you. We're here in Livingston Hall with the Executive Director of the James Pettis Communications Center, Dr. Batchelor. Dr. Batchelor, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So our first concern is, how on schedule is construction, and are things progressing as normal?
If anybody's been around campus, they can see the steel is going up. So the walls are there, and the construction is going really well. We're going to have an opening in the fall. Everything's on board and on track.
All right, good to hear. Now, what do you believe will be the biggest positive impact that the center going up will have for Teal students?
I see the Pettis Center as the intellectual hub of Teal College, and I think the intellectual hub of this region. This Pettis Center is going to give us a state-of-the-art building that no other school of our size has. We're getting a brand new multi-million-dollar building with state-of-the-art technology, and it's going to benefit the students a great deal. Like, students now take writing intensive classes, they'll soon take presentational intensive classes as well. I see the Pettis Center as a democracy, and it's used for everybody, not just people who are really into radio or television or film, but for the entire university community.
Well, it sounds like good opportunities are on the way for Teal students of all disciplines. And we thank you for your time, Dr. Batchelor, and we'll send it back to the desk. Guys?
The 2-year-old girl was burned when gasoline sparked a fire on the slide where she and her sister were playing. Deputies believe one of the girls poured gasoline on the outdoor slide at their father's Loganville home in order to make it more slippery, but a spark from static electricity apparently ignited the gasoline, catching the younger sister on fire around 11:15 a.m. Saturday. According to the police, the toddler was rushed to Grady Memorial Hospital, where she was in a medically induced coma Monday and suffering from severe burns. The 4-year-old girl was not seriously injured.
Lightning has struck twice for 2 lottery players in Braddock, and if you're poor, you might want to get struck by this lightning too. The Pennsylvania Lottery said Al's Market on Braddock Avenue has sold another Powerball ticket worth $1 million. The ticket was bought for last Saturday's drawing. Al's Market also sold a $1 million ticket in September. Well, I'll tell you what, I might have to do some shopping down there.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'd love to win $1 million.
I wouldn't mind it.
I mean, we could do a lot with it, definitely.
We could.
Pittsburgh Steelers strong safety Troy Polamalu cut his legendary mane on Veterans Day at Heinz Field. The haircut was the culmination of the Veterans of Foreign Wars 7-week main event to raise awareness for veterans issues. I understand the issues that veterans and their families face while serving our country, and I am honored to join the Veterans of Foreign Wars main event by getting my hair cut on Veterans Day. I am showing my commitment to the men and women who served our country, the real heroes, stated the 2-time Super Bowl champ. Now it's time to take a look at the fun things happening in the world of entertainment with Taylor and Paul.
Thanks guys, and welcome to Entertainment. I'm Paul.
And I'm Taylor.
The country with 6 Miss Universe titles just added another one to their collection. Miss Venezuela won the Miss Universe title this past weekend in Moscow, Russia. 25-year-old Maria Eiler was the 3rd woman from Venezuela to win in 6 years. The 5'10" brunette was born in the city of Valencia, where she worked as an anchor for one of the most popular stations in the country. Venezuela as a whole has won more major international beauty competitions than any other nation in the world. They sure do know how to prepare their young women for beauty competitions.
Larry King is back, but it isn't the way you might remember him. King is coming to radio in the form of minute-long daily reports. These reports start at Veterans Day and will be on air for those who knows how long. The former CNN host will be featured more than 50 stations across the nation that are all owned by Cumulus. King will also appear on AARP website, which will have a link to the station. This will be King's comeback after almost 6 decades of not being on radio. King was a well-known talk show host that was on air for many years. He left CNN in 2010 and decided to come back as a radio host.
New father Kanye West pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor battery and attempted grand theft in a case that occurred earlier this year with a celebrity photographer. West's attorney entered the plea on behalf of him last Thursday in Los Angeles, California. The incident occurred in July at the Los Angeles International Airport, but the misdemeanors weren't filled until September. The prosecutor decided to decline the felony charges against West, but went through with the misdemeanors. Each could be penalized with up to 6 months in jail or a fine of $1,000.
Miley Cyrus was seen at the MTV EMA Awards on Sunday. Cyrus performed on stage at another award show and did not disappoint. The show had a space theme, and Cyrus sang her song, "We Can't Stop." While she wore a silver spandex suit, she performed her song with a signature dance move along with a wide variety of other moves. She twerked on a midget and also showed off her moves with a joint in her hand. The 20-year-old star took home an award for Best Video for her song, "Wrecking Ball." The show included many other singers, including Katy Perry and Eminem.
The hit movie Thor hit theaters this past week as it opened at the #1 spot, earning $86.1 million. The movie opened last weekend globally and earned $180.1 million. Other movies that premiered included Freebirds, which is a 3D animated flick about birds. The movie made $11.2 million in its second weekend in theaters. The movie taking second place in this weekend's box office was Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa, which made $11.3 million. All of these movies are now available in theaters near you, so go out and see one. They seem pretty good to make this much money.
Everyone knows the famous ticking noise that begins every 60-minute show. But do people know that 60 Minutes was wrong? 60 Minutes apologized for Sunday's broadcast on a flawed story about the 2012 attack on the U.S. mission in Benghazi, Libya, and for the discredited source that claimed to have been seen. The 60-Minute crew apologized at the end of their segment, saying they were misled and that they made a mistake. Laura Logan was the reporter responsible for the incident. She interviewed a source who claimed that it was in a fight but ended up being revealed as a phony.
Robert Redford has made many contributions to the state of Utah, and he is finally being recognized for it by the Utah state authorities. Redford has made contributions on and off the camera to the Sundance Ski Resort and to the founder of the Sundance Film Festival. About 500 people were in attendance for the evening's event as Redford received his honor. The governor praised Redford for all of his support and credit he has given to Utah in movies and speeches. The actor claimed his father was the reason for his love for Utah, saying it was him who should get the credit for it.
The Broadway musical Big Fish has gotten the hook after 98 regular shows. The musical was directed and choreographed by Susan Stroman, a 5-time Tony winner. Stroman directed the musical based off the novel and the 2003 film, which starred Ewan McGregor and Albert Finney. The visual lush show was about Sensible trying to reconcile with a manic father and fond of tall tales. The movie was given mixed reviews when it opened October 6th and was never the highlight of the box office. The final performance will take place on December 26th with its 2-time Tony Award-winning cast including Norbert Leo Butz.
David Beckham, the former soccer player and English national team star, has been said to be on the nominating list for the Knights of the Realm. The ceremony will take place at the Buckingham Palace, where Beckham could potentially add the word "Sir" to his name. His wife, former Spice Girl Victoria Beckham, could possibly acquire a name as well, which would be Lady. Beckham is among other candidates up for the title, which will be given out before we ring in the new year. Stay tuned as we go to sports and take a look at the Teal wrestling team as their season is underway. We will now send it over to sports with Marcus and CJ.
Welcome to the newest segment of TCTV Sports. I'm Marcus.
And I'm CJ. Now let's take a look at a Tomcat wrestling promo put together by our own Adam Mott.
I'm here with Jake Lowry, Teal's 197-pounder. So Jake, how did it feel, to actually win a tournament as a team?
It was awesome. I'm pretty sure that was Thurber's first win as a team, and just hope to keep it rolling this year.
Absolutely. Now you were in the finals as well. How did that feel to win it?
It was awesome. I felt like I could have did a little better, but still good to get the W.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any expectations for the team or yourself?
Yeah. I think as a team we could definitely be PAC champions even more. I think we're at least top 15 in the country.
So Coach, this was your first win at a tournament as a team, in your coaching career. How did you feel about that?
It was exciting. We had a great weekend. Coming off last Wednesday's loss to Mount Union, I've said, this is my 11th year, and top to bottom, balance-wise, this is probably the best bunch we've had.
Now you've had some really strong recruits come in, and as well as in the upper weights, and it seems like you have a pretty solid team. What are your expectations for this pretty tough team?
I think the expectations, I always have very similar expectations for for all my teams, I think, but this year in particular, we have, like I said earlier, we have very good depth in all of our weight classes and some really good experience with some of our juniors, especially with Jordan Powell coming off an All-American season. Gerald Russa had 28 wins last year. Jake Lowry was undefeated going to regionals last year, got upset.
The model for last Saturday's game was lighted up, and boy did that game between the Teal Tomcats and Westminster Titans light it up. Both teams lit up the scoreboard for a total of 82 points and also the stat sheet for a remarkable 878 total yards on offense. The game was something to watch as it went into quadruple overtime and kept everyone on the edge of their seats throughout the entire overtime. The game came down to fourth down in overtime and a one-on-one match between freshman corner Chris Jones and senior wideout Colin Wallace. Jones held his ground to end the game 45-37, a Tomcat win. I've seen a lot of games in my day, and this game was sure up there.
It was a pretty nice game. Ryan Racky and Andrew Smith both played well, but ultimately we got the W.
Yeah. With the Florida Panthers suffering a 7-game losing streak, I guess it was time for change. General Manager Dale Talent fired Coach Kevin Deneen and assistants Gordon Murphy and Craig Ramsey, and he promised more changes. Talent stated that we are 3-9 and 4. That's unacceptable. Talent promoted Peter Horacek from San Antonio of the American Hockey League to be interim coach, and named former Panthers players Brian Scrudlin and John Madden as assistant coaches.
Tavon Austin ran free Sunday, and the Colts seemed to be standing in mud because they couldn't catch him. The rookie returned one punt for 98 yards, a touchdown, caught TD passes of 57 and 81, and almost single-handedly ended the Rams' 3-game losing streak by leading St. Louis to a stunning 38-8 victory at Indianapolis. It was the worst Colts loss since a 55-point thrashing at New Orleans in 2011. The touchdown catches were the only receptions Austin had on his biggest day of the season.
Talk about a break in fancy day.
Right. Police used tear gas to disperse rock-throwing fans outside the stadium before the African Championships League final Sunday, an outburst that has heightened fear for an upcoming World Cup playoff between Egypt and Ghana. Hundreds of Egyptian soccer fans clashed with the police. Fans, many with no tickets, tried to push their way into the stadium. A police car was damaged and traffic was briefly disrupted outside Arab Stadium. About 4,000 police officers using armored vehicles were stationed around the stadium.
World Cup, that's going to be a good one.
On
and off the field, right?
4,000 police officers? That's ridiculous.
I mean, geez. I remember my high school games.
You didn't have 4,000 people?
No, we did, but whatever. The Baltimore Ravens, their season hanging in the balance after having snatched away on a final desperate play of regulation. The Ravens responded like Super Bowl champions. Victimized by a desperation 51-yard touchdown pass to force overtime, the defending Super Bowl champs barely grabbed hold to the victory over the Bengals on a Justin Tucker 46-yard field goal with 5:27 left on Sunday. The Ted's win thrust the Ravens into a second-place tie in the AFC North, just one game behind Cincinnati in the loss column. It was Baltimore's first victory since October 6th. A whole month of a victory? Jeez. Florida State, which is led by the outstanding play of quarterback Jameis Winston, reached number 2 in the Associated Press college football polls, replacing Oregon after Oregon lost to Stanford last Thursday. The only team in front of Florida State is undefeated Alabama, and behind Florida State is Ohio State at number 3. When the BCS standings come out, they're expected to line up the same way as the AP polls, with Alabama and Florida State taking the top spot and trailing as the unbeaten Ohio State Buckeyes. The thing that Florida State does is Jameis Winston's a freshman. The dude is younger than us, and he's winning these games. You know?
Actually, he's the same age as us, but...
Well, he's a
redshirt freshman.
He's a redshirt? No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
I'm pretty sure he's not.
I'm pretty sure he is.
We'll check that out.
Whatever. Jimmy Johnson has taken control of the championship battle following a disastrous performance by Matt Kenseth at Phoenix International Raceway. Johnson Whiten is leading the Sprint Cup standing by 28 points heading into next Sunday's season finale at Homestead by finishing 3rd in a workmanlike performance for the 5-time champ. Kenseth had a horrific race Sunday as his title hopes were derailed by an ill-handling Toyota. He placed 23rd in the race. Can you believe that the Jacksonville Jaguars won a game? It's game balls all around for the Jacksonville Jaguars, winless no more. They can thank the Titans for helping them finally get that first victory this season. Owner said Khan gave first-year coach Gus Bradley a game ball, and the coach made sure both his boss and general manager David Caldwell each got one too. After the Jaguars held off the Titans 29-27 on Sunday.
After the break, catch a special post-game interview about the night game with Coach Razor.
Hi, this is Tim Walker with TCTV, and we're here at the coach's office to get the inside scoop on a night game. What was the game plan going into Westminster game?
Well, for us offensively, we strive every week to run the football well. We knew going into that game that Westminster had a solid defense. They were second in the conference in the rushing defense. So we knew they were playing well against the run game. We wanted to try to get some early passes out and completed to allow us to gain confidence in the pass game and things, maybe loosen them up from that standpoint. From a defensive perspective, we knew that Dak Britt, number 9, their quarterback, was their best offensive weapon. He's an outstanding football player who can run, throw the ball well, and he hurt us in that game with his legs. Scrambling around at different times, making big plays in the run game and those types of things. So going into the game, it was all about trying to limit him as much as we possibly could. And, I think towards the end of the game we were able to do that, and that helped us get the win. Special teams, from a special teams perspective, we felt like we had the advantage in the special teams game with our return game. Our kickoff return has been good for us all year. I think we're second in the conference in kickoff return. We felt like we could get some field position with that. And we almost broke one early in the game with that. And we felt like we had the opportunity to block a punt against them. And so we had that schemed up. Coach Boyle, our special teams coordinator, did a great job scheming that up. And, we had the opportunity there late in the game to block the punt. Unfortunately, we got called for roughing the kicker, and that hurt us, but it was certainly there, and we felt good about it.
How do you feel about the history of the night game?
Well, we set the history. It's the first night game we ever played here, on campus, and to really come from behind is what it really boiled down to. We were down and out. We were a 4th and game, and Tim made a great play on that 4th and long pass. We score, able to tie it, and then to win that thing in 4 overtimes. The history now is set that whether it's a night game or a day game, Teal Tomcats aren't going to quit. We're going to take it to the end.
Thanks.
Time to play the game!
How you feel about the first night game win?
I thought it was a great win. We came out there and we started strong, kind of lulled over a little bit, but we finished very well. Obviously going to 4 overtimes, we executed, we did the things we wanted to do, and it was a big win for the Teal College.
Good. What do you think about the quadruple overtime?
It was a crazy atmosphere, it was a crazy game, a lot of ups and downs. It came down to execution. I thought the guys went out there, they executed well. They went out there, a lot of pressure situations. I mean, primetime players make primetime plays at prime times.
Stand up, get loud, and make noise for this one play.
Let's go! Finish it! He's gonna bomb it. Oh, there you go! There you go!
The pass goes incomplete. The Tomcats take the victory, 45 to
It's all about the game, and how you play it. All about control, and if you can take it, it's all about you. And if you can play it, it's all about me. Who's gonna make it?
Now let's see what it's looking like outside right now with Natasha.
Thanks, Tyler. This is Natasha with your TCTV weather. Let's take a look around the country. In the northeast, it's in the low to mid 30s, and down in the southwest, it is in the low to mid 40s. Let's take a look outside. Right now in Greenville, it's 30 degrees with a dew point of 20, with 66% humidity, with a west-southwest wind. And let's take a look at our radar. Right now, you can see it's perfectly clear, no more snow in our future. And temperatures are in the low 30s, and you can see in Youngstown and Franklin it's 30 degrees. So bundle up, guys, it's going to be chilly. And the 7-day forecast, Thursday and Friday are both going to be in the low 40s with chilly nights. This weekend it's going to warm up so that we should have a good TC football game. But Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday we have chances of scattered showers. And Wednesday it's going to be partly sunny. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Natasha. And even if you aren't an old geezer or a geek, and you watch Jeopardy at 7 p.m. on WPXI each weekday from November 11th through the 22nd, you too can become a winner. Viewers who submit the final Jeopardy category to the WPXI website will be entered in the contest. Daily winners will receive a Jeopardy gift assortment. Of the 10 daily winners, one grand prize winner will be randomly selected to receive a 50-inch television. And that's all the time we have today here at TCTV News. I'm Jason Crystal.
And I'm Tyler Buffington. Have a great week, everyone.
You've been watching TCTV News, your only source for news and entertainment on campus.